Well, good morning, and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus, where we're going to be spending about the next 40 minutes working on some beauty on the outside and a whole lot of beauty on the inside. So, our foundation verse for this podcast is I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And that comes from Psalm 119, verse 11. And all of our verses are coming from the Word in Color coloring book. You can see a link on the screen. You can also see a QR code, however you want to get there. You can buy this book in a couple of different places. I've actually seen it in my grocery store. So wherever you get it from, this is going to give you a nice portfolio at the end of our first season together. And then you'll have this beautiful display of all these verses that you have worked on. So every week we're going to hit a different verse and color a different verse. So the one for this week I super like. This is going to be your verse page for this week. So a little bit easier than some of the other ones that we have worked on, but I think you'll enjoy it nonetheless. So let's get back over here and we're going to take a look at our verse from last week. Last week was great is the Lord and most worthy of praise, Psalm 96:4. I hope you enjoyed working on that verse. I love having the wallpaper image that you can put on your phone because every time I open and close my phone, I've got that verse right there to just have a little like quiz memory time. So I hope you're making taking advantage of that as well. There's also the landscape graphic as well. So the one that's the portrait mode, that one works great on your phone, but the one that's landscape, that one works great. I have that on my iPad so that every time I'm in and out of my iPad, I can see that as well. So just some little ways for you to dive into that verse a little bit better. Okay, so let me get that off and let me get our verse scrolling for this week. Our verse for this week is going to be I have written your name on the palms of my hand, and that is Psalm 46:16, I believe. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read that. Okay, so our theme for this week is going to be kind of a smoky black gray, and then we're going to give just a tinge of sparkle with a little bit of glitter liner from Urban Decay. So you can do this with any set of colors that you would like. You're just going to need a light, you're going to need a medium, you're going to need a dark, and then you're going to need a glitter liner, or you can use a glitter topper and then just use a liner brush with that. That will work as well. So we are going to start out with our Urban Decay primer. This is the All-Nighter Face Primer. And this particular one pump is going to do ya. That one little pump, there you go. So for you, you're going to start out in your trouble areas. You're going to eventually cover your whole face with it. This is going to smooth out any fine lines and wrinkles. It's going to minimize pores. It's going to help your foundation to adhere and to last longer. This one has a really nice light texture. I also have combo skin, so this one, oh, combo and aging skin. So this one really helps with both parts of that, with the fine lines and wrinkles, and then also with the pores and oil control. Now this week I'm going to be trying a different foundation. This week I'm going to be hanging out with Rihanna. We're going to be using the Fenty. This is the Pro Filter. Mine is shade 210. So one thing about the Fenty foundation, and I know you'll hear this over and over in my store, but in the Fenty foundation, the pigments weigh a little bit more than the fluid they're suspended in. So before you use this foundation, you have to give it a couple of shakes to kind of mix it up. I'm also changing up my beauty blender today. I was at a conference with Ulta and I saw a demonstration with this beauty blender in damp. And I thought, I'm going to give that a go. Guess what? It is such a game changer. So I can't speak for all beauty blenders because the Air Blend, whatever the other one is, it's blue that I use, that one works better dry. This one though, totally a different story when that one's damp. So actually, before we get to the foundation, I'm losing my head here. We're going to use our concealer, and this is the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. This is in the shade 11. This is light nude. This one, you're going to just take a little ribbon of this. Well, if we can get it out here. There we go. Little tiny ribbon will do you. This one blends much better when you let your body temperature warm that up a little bit. So we are going to, and actually I've put that on my wrong hand, so it's going to be odd and peculiar application because I'm doing this left-handed and I'm right-handed. Here we go. Yeah, can't do it. Okay, let me switch hands. So you are going to target areas that you want to conceal, hence the name concealer. So for me, that's going to be the under eye area and then also inside the eye here on the corner. And then I got redness down my nose, so I'm going to do that. We're just going to let that sit there for a second. And then we're going to use the pointy end of our Beauty Blender to blend that out. Removing all redness, removing all the darkness. And this one, I'm telling you, this one wears so well. Going to blend it out a little bit to the cheek so we can get rid of that redness there. All right. Now we're going to move on to the Fenty foundation. So again, giving that just a couple of shakes, letting that mix up a little bit. Different people do this different ways. I'm not sure that's a right or wrong answer. I'm just going to show you how I do it, and I have had success, and I get compliments on my foundation all the time. So we're going to use a partial pump, minus the little hair there. There we go. I'm going to go with about that much right there. That is all you need for each different quadrant section of the face that we're going to be doing. So we're going to start out in the center. We're going to hit the cheeks. We're going to blend it out to our neck, and then we're going to do the forehead. So we're just going to dot that out a little bit so that it gets evenly distributed. And then you're going to just kind of a tap swiping sort of motion, making sure you're hitting every area, catching that little crack area of the nose, making sure our Cupid's bow is targeted. Okay, another pump, a little partial pump. That's going to get your cheek. Going all the way back to that ear and hairline there, blending that up nicely to that eye area. Another partial pump. Blending that under the eye. Just tapping that out, making sure we've got that evenly spread out. Another partial pump. And we're going to run that along our jawline here. And that you're going to blend down so we don't end up with a harsh line. I mean, theoretically, your foundation should be a pretty good blend between your face and your neck. But some cases you have maybe the face a little darker than what the neck is, could be a little lighter than what the neck is. I see different things in my store. So you're just going to blend it out. So whatever the occasion is, you are covered. Going to get another little partial pump and tapping it out. We're going to blend out the forehead. All right. And if you're with me, you can see that verse scroll. Oh, hi, good morning. Nice to see some of y'all with me. I still haven't figured out how to do that chat thing while we're doing here, but I tell you what, if you put any questions in there, I will answer those questions after we are done. All right. Our foundation is all on there. So now we need to set that bad boy. We are going to be using the Lancome Long Time No Shine. Things I love about this setting powder. Doesn't offer any color. It is just great at its job, which is setting. So this is going to come with a powder puff in there. And then you can see you're going to kind of, here, we'll tap it out for you. Let me set this down. Lid back on, upside down. Usually I give it about 4 or 5 taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tap the top to let release what's in the lid. And then you've got just about the exact right amount in the lid there. I would not set the whole puff in it, just kind of gently tap it in. We're going to catch under the eye area first. in the eye area, it's kind of a gentle press. We don't want to tug on that skin. The thing I like about using the puff versus a brush, the puff is going to actually kind of press it in and set it into the foundation. Uh, a brush is going to kind of like flick it everywhere. So if you would like dusting, powder brush away. I pay for the powder and I like for more of it to end up on my face. Okay, now we're going to set our cheek. I don't know about you, but I can actually hear the swiping of the powder puff in my. Okay, that's crazy. That mic's pretty good. Okay, so then we're gonna catch down here where we set that powder. I mean the foundation. Just blending that out, and now we're gonna catch the forehead. And again, this is a translucent, so it's not going to offer any color. All we're doing is setting that foundation. Now, if you enjoy a nice dewy finish, this is going to kind of mattify you. It's not a harsh matte, it's a soft, pleasant matte, but you can always use your setting spray. We'll be using the Urban Decay De-Slick later on, but they do have their glow spray as well. So if you like the glow finish, you can do that with the setting spray. But this way you at least get the oil control properties. There is a difference between an oil shine and a glow. Okay, so now we are going to be working on our contouring. We are going to be using the Cheek in the Mail. This is from Benefit Cosmetics. And the center one here is actually Hula. Hula is sold by itself, so you can use that as well. And then on the far side of the palette, we have Cookie, which is a highlighter, and Cookie is sold by itself as well. We're going to be using the double-ended It Cosmetics brush. This one is going to be for the bronzer, and this end here will be for the highlighter. So we're going to start out by using the side of the brush, and that is going to be our cheek contour. So we're going to really just go above the deepest part of, well, if you don't have a round face like me, where your cheekbone should be. There you go. Come over to the other side, kind of in a little bit of a U shape. We're going to use the flat end of it again, more of just the tip. We're going to go right along that headline and extend that color just a little bit. Now we're going to use the side of that brush under the jawline. And you want to kind of keep your face as straight as possible because you want to hit where that natural line is. If you start contorting or something, you're going to distort where the line is. And we're just going to accentuate under that jawbone. Now we're going to use the tip of it right alongside the nose and just under the little. Now, if you're one of those people that likes that button nose kind of thing, you can also hit right here across the top, and that'll give you a little of that button nose, whatever. Okay, now we're going to use a puffy end. We're going to dip into our Cookie highlighter, and we're going to kind of do a VC sort of shape right here beside the eye. And then we're going to go straight down the center of the face, making sure we especially hit that Cupid's bow right there. Give you a little bit of a fuller lip. Now that we've got that part done, we're going to add a little color into that kind of blondness we just stuck on there. We're going to be using the Juvia's Place. This is the Blushed 4, and we're going to be using the top color here. I will tell you these are very pigmented, so it does not take much. Just a tap tap, and you are done. So tap tap, right in between where you just put that highlighter and that bronzer. We're just going to add a little color in there. And then bring that up that temple just a little bit. And one tap and get you top of the forehead. One little tap, tip of the nose, Middle of the chin. All right. Now we are going to review our verse that we've got going on here. It is scrolling across the bottom of your screen. So I have written your name in the palms of my hand, Isaiah 49:16. Now let's move on to our lips. Today we're going to be using the Line Out Loud. This is in something haughty, haughty hijacker. And then we'll be using the MAC Candy Yum Yum. Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with that lipstick color. Okay, so first with the liner. So you're going to take your sharpened pencil. It can be sharper than this if you'd like. Get you a nice V in that Cupid's bow. All right. Go right to the very edge of that lip line. I'm not really a proponent of that overlining thing. I think it looks a little weird. Then we're going to take this pencil with a little bit lighter pressure and line just to the inside of what we just did. This will prevent us from having a harsh lip line from the liner. Now this is almost the exact same color of the lipstick itself, but we want a little bit blending. I mean, it was a thing once upon a time, I think in the 90s, where your lip liner was a different color. That's not a thing right now. So, all right, so now we're going to take our lipstick and we're going to cover over that lip liner all the way to the edge as much as possible. Blend out a little. Make sure you don't smush your corners though. There you go. Now today we're going to add a little funk. Okay, so remember I mentioned we were going to be using the Urban Decay. This is the heavy metal. Let me give it a little bit of a mix here. Looks like it's separated somewhat. This is actually an eyeliner, but let me show you something fun. Okay, so the brush on this looks like this. Okay, it's just a liner brush. And then it's a fluid. Here, let me mix that up one more time. It's a fluid that has a glitter suspended it, kind of a gel-like. Okay, so we're going to take this liner and we're going to line our lips with that. Just straddling right on that outside edge. I know we got prom season happening and all that, so this is super fun. Maybe you're just in a bad mood, you need a little cheerfulness. Glitter makes everything better. That should be a slogan for somebody. Glitter and a prayer. That'd be a cute name for a podcast, wouldn't it? And you can add as much glitter liner as you want. There you go. I just like a little something something on there. All right, we'll let that dry while we are working on our eyes. Today we're going to be using two things. We're going to be using the Wahala 2 palette. This is from Juvia's Place. We're going to be hanging out over here in this section right here. And then to give a little definition to the eye, we're going to be using, y'all don't laugh at me, this is the old school Urban Decay. They do sell this in the new ones now. I just haven't broke down and bought one. So this is the Urban Decay single shadow, and this is in the color Blackout. So right now what you're going to see is those are in a clear square box, same product. Okay, so we're going to start out in the Wahala 2. We're going to be using, we're going to start out with the lightest shade, then we're going to move to a medium shade, and then we're going to be using the Blackout. And then we're going to put a little color on there with a LA Girl topper in the color of Frenzy. That's just going to give us a hint of color on such a smoky, dark look. So we're going to start out with our all over shadow brush. I believe this is actually a concealer brush from It Cosmetics, but I like it for this. I don't actually see the number for it, but nonetheless, looks like this. I think this was an exclusive to Ulta Beauty because it says Love Ulta Beauty Fully. So starting out with that lighter color, which is called Fame. So whatever lightest shade you've got, you're going to use that. We're going to go on the top of the brow bone here. Do that on both sides. And yes, I know, I think I just saw something about eyeshadow primer. This particular, well, this brand, the Juvia's, I don't use an eye primer with them. Their shadows are very creamy and smooth and highly pigmented. So in my personal opinion, you don't really need a eye primer. I know, don't hate me. Okay, so we have got the Fame there. Now we are going to go to a all over shadow brush. This is a MAC 280 maybe? Okay, and we're going to go into that middle color. So for me on this palette, that's going to be the color of Greed. Ooh, that's a horrible color name. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to use Ambitious. I don't like the name of that color. Okay, Ambitious I can do. There we go. And we're going to use that to cover the entire bottom of the lid, meeting right up to where we just put that lighter shade. Now, if you've got like dry lids or something like that, like I said, I have combo skin, so I don't have that issue. But for you, a primer might be a good choice so that you can have that hydration on your eyelids before you put the shadow. I'm just going to come back in with that lighter brush. We're going to blend those two together right there. And now we're going to use our angled shadow brush. And we are going to grab that blackout shade. And let me tell you, it is legit a black shade. So no matter what brand it is that you're using, we'll do that. Also, you want to keep handy a fluffy brush because we're going to just be fluffing off any fallout that we have as it comes along. So this, we're going to just use the tip of it in the shadow like that, just catching it on the tip. Now we're going to ride that brow bone just like that. Tip it again and come across that lash line about halfway. Same thing on the other side. All right. Tap your brush off on a tissue so it's kind of clear of the color that you put on there. And now we're going to just blend it out by touching it ever so gently There we go. Just blending it out into that upper color. Just a gentle touch there. And we'll fix that line in the bottom in just a second. Come back with your brush there. There you go. And we're just going to blend that out nice and easy. All right, we are going to grab our smudger brush and our eyeliner brush. We're going to be using these two now. Let's start out with the eyeliner brush. We're going to take the eyeliner brush, we're going to drag it through the shadow just like this. Just get a little bit on that tip there. We're going to clean up that bottom line that we have on this color. And we're just going to run that right through there. Give us a little bit of a sharper line. And then also here on the bottom. Same thing on the other side. And then on that lower lash line too. All right, now we're going to switch to our smudger. And smudger, you're just going to tap, tap. Give it a couple of taps off. Make sure we don't have it overloaded. We're going to hit that outside corner. Make sure we've got that nice and intense there. And then we're just going to work just to the top side of that line so we don't move that line at all. And we're just going to blend that out. Okay. Once you've got that about where you want it, looks like I got a little smudge in here, so I'm just going to grab that and we'll tap that out on there. There you go. All right. Remove any fallout. And before we put the topper on, we are going to eyeliner. So the first that I'm going to be using is the NYX retractable eyeliner. This is in the shade of black. I always keep my eyeshadow out and handy. I've got something in my eye. Let me see if I can find that. Okay, so I always keep my shadows open and handy just in case you disturb anything while you're putting your mascara and liner on. So we're going to line that halfway, right about where that blackout is ending. And then we're going to get the bottom lash line about the third of the way there. Okay. Set that aside. Go back to your liner brush. We're going to just wipe that liner brush off on that tissue you've got set there. And then we're going to go to that middle color. For me, it's Ambitious. You're just going to tap that or drag that brush this way through that color. And then we're going to go under the eye, right where we just put that black liner, and blend that out. Yes, great question. We will be using that glitter liner here in just a moment. Okay. Now we are going to move to our liquid liner and then we'll do that topper. So I'm going to be using the Too Faced Better Than Sex. This is a liquid liner. This is in the color black. This one likes to be shaken just a little bit. You can hear those balls moving in there. And we're going to line that whole top lash line. This is going to do a couple things for us. So that is going to finish out the eyelid. It's also going to fill in the gap between our flesh and the lash application we're going to be doing here in just a second. And it gives that adhesive something nice to adhere to. So we just need a nice thin line. Now we're going to move to the other side. And you're going to glue lashes on the top of this, so no worries if your line's not like 100% straight, you're fixing to cover it up. Okay. Now, just for a little fun, so far we've got a whole lot of gray and black happening here, and there's not a whole lot of color. So we're going to take that LA Glitter Girl Topper in the color Frenzy, and you're just going to use your middle finger, tap it in there, get some on there, put that on your lid. Just gently tap that in. We're not trying to overly color the lid, we're just trying to give it a little bit of color. And now I have got the hiccups. Okay. Catching it all the way to the outside edge there. There we go. Just need a little something to add a little bit of color. And now, like I said, let me actually wipe the glitter off my finger. There we go. Now we're going to grab that glitter liner that we were using around the edge of our lips, give it another couple shakes, and we're going to use that just in the corner of our eye. Just right here. All right. Woo. Try not to drop yours on yourself. Taking our brush, going to remove any fallout. And now we are going to do our brows. Well, actually, before we get to our brows, let me scroll down here. We are going to review our verse one more time. So, scrolling across the bottom of your screen, I have written your name on the palms of my hand, and that's coming from Psalm 49, Isaiah 49:16. Okay, now we're going to move to our brows. Okay, so for those of you who have fashion colors like I do, sometimes finding a brow color that matches is a little problematic. So I would encourage you to think outside the box just a little bit. You can use any lip liner, eyeliner, colored mascara, all of the above. So today I'm going to be using the NYX Epic Wear Liner. This is in the color, I believe, pink. Oh, Pink Spirit. And we are going to fill in our brow. Use whatever brow product you've got. If you don't have if you have normal colored hair and you don't have a brow product you love, I totally encourage you to go to our Benefit Arch Expert and have her shade match you and get you going there. She can also do a wax for you, clean you up a little bit so that you've got the best territory for your brow product. All right. When you've got that about the shape that you want, move to the other side. Little short strokes win the race with the brows. All right. Take a look back. Make sure you've got them both even. And then we're going to take our spoolie and we're just going to brush through a little bit. Make sure we don't have like a harsh looking brow. Everything blending together. There we go. Then you can come back with your original lighter shadow color that you've got, and just kind of clean up underneath in the event you had anything interesting and exciting happen, or your spoolie got a little too aggressive. There we go. Just double checking the outside edge here. There we go. All right, so we can set aside our eyeshadows now. We are going to be putting our mascara on. This is before you do your false lashes. My lashes are practically clear, so if you don't put some mascara on them, it's going to look like you got a white thing on top of your dark thing, so a little weird. If you are gifted by God with black lashes, you probably don't need to do this step. So we're going to curl our lashes first. We're going to be using the Tarte Lash Curler. Love this one for its way that it shapes and grabs your fingers because of the curved shape of the tip there. And then the rubber band on this just does a really good job of not pulling and ripping the lashes. So less breakage is better. So we're going to start out down close to the lash skin, but do not pinch your lashes. If you need to clamp down a little bit and then back away, do that. There you go. So we're going to hold it down for as long as it takes us to say our verse and kind of speaking slowly. So I have written your name on the palm of my hand. Isaiah 49:16. Okay, other side. Making sure we're not pinching. There you go. I have written your name on the palm of my hand. Isaiah 49:16. Today I'm going to be using the Bad Gal Bang in the shade of black. Love this volumizing mascara. Super nice wand. Does a good job of separating the lashes, but delivering a nice amount of product without being goopy or overdoing it. Making sure we catch all our lashes there. Use the tip to get those outside little tiny baby fine ones. Okay, one more coat on that top lash. Making sure we're catching those tips. And same thing on the other side. Now we're going to catch our bottom lashes. Getting as close as possible to that rim without actually getting the mascara on that. Okay, other side. You happen to get it on your skin, just do a quick tap away. And do not let me catch you pumping. Ooh, look at that. Okay. This is where your bullet comes in handy. There you go. All right. Now we've got a little bit of mascara on there. So we are going to do our lashes. So today I'm going to be using the Juvia's. This is the Nubian Lash. This is in Zaire. And we're also going to be using our lash glue from Kiss Cosmetics. This is the Super Strong. So these come on a nice little tray. You can see I've already trimmed these so that they're the same distance of my eye. If this is the first time that you're wearing the lashes, you're going to trim from the outside edge. So just kind of do a dry fit, set the lash down and see how much, if you can feel it poking on either end, you probably need to trim a little bit off of the lash. Always trim from the outside edge. So I'm going to take the lashes, grabbing the outside edge of the lash, using my velour lash tool here. You're going to grab the outside edge of the lash and just remove it from the tray. Set them down in front of you on a table surface or whatever you're using to do your makeup on. I always set them down in the way that they're going to go so the centers are near each other so that way I don't lose track. Some lashes, this one has a little bit of a flare to it, so it's super easy to see, but some lashes are a little harder than others to tell where the outside edge is versus the inside edge. So if you want to make sure you keep that straight, just do that way. So the first thing that we're going to do, giving a little shake to the lash glue, we're going to take the adhesive out and we're going to apply that to the top edge, making sure that that is evenly distributed from tip to tip. Then we're also going to do just the back side of the band, not getting it on the lashes themselves, just on the lash band. And once you've got that all covered, let me catch that outside tip. There we go. You can set that down, making sure that the lash band that you just glued does not touch your surface. And then we'll move to the next one. Catching the back side of the band and making sure we've gotten all the way to the outside edge of the tips there. Okay, cap that glue off. You are done with that. And you're going to let that set for about 30 seconds. So we're just going to chit chat for a second. And then it should be about ready to go. So let's just use this time to say our Bible verse together. So I have written your name in the palms of my hand, Isaiah 49:16. See, about now, you've already said this several times. You're halfway to having it memorized. So we are going to pick up our lashes using our tool. We're going to grab it right there in the center, about halfway down those lashes. I see I still got a pretty good amount of shine there, so I'm just going to kind of wave it back and forth for a little bit, and we're going to let it dry. Then when we feel like we've got that losing its shine just a tidge, we're going to set that down, starting out with it in the center of the eye. Let me see if I can do that without my magnifier. There we go. Right down where that lash meets your skin there. Walk it down to the inside corner. And then walk it to the outside corner. You've got a little bit of time before that glue sets, or adhesive. So take that time to get that lash situated exactly where you want it. And then I usually take the tip of this, make sure my eyelashes are all up in there. Any glue that transfers, like you can see that little thing right there. There you go. Let's wipe that away. Let's grab that other lash. Grabbing that in the center as well. Still a little shiny. Fan that a little bit. You can see the difference between with and without the lashes. Definitely a difference. Okay, and then we're going to set that down here, right in the center, right up next to my lashes. And then we're going to take the outside edge, get that where we want it. Grab the inside and put that exactly where you want it. If you happen to get a little adhesive transfer to your tool, just wipe that off with the Kleenex. You do not want glue or adhesive on your tool while you're trying to walk it around. It will tug and most likely lift what you're working so hard to get down. Okay. Gonna make sure our lashes are mixed in there. There we go. Give it a little press. And once you feel like you've got it exactly where you want it, check that right there. There you go. Voila. So I will tell you, if you're new to putting lashes on, it's just something that you'll be able to do faster and faster the more that you do it. So just keep it up. Practice. Don't do it when you're in a hurry to go somewhere. Give yourself a little bit of time to work with it. Okay, so now now that we've got all that done, we're gonna take a look, make sure we didn't get any excessive fallout there. I do see a little bit because we were working with the black today. So I'm gonna grab my bullet. I'm just gonna tap it a little bit into my loose powder, touch up underneath your eye. Same thing on the other side. Okay. And then we're going to grab just this little tiny fluffy highlighter brush. We're going to go back to our cheek in the male, to our highlighter. We're just going to tap it a couple more times right here. There you go. And now we're going to set it with our Urban Decay. For me, it's the D-Slick. You want a dewy finish, use their glow. You have normal skin to dry skin, just use the original. The OG will do you just fine. So give that a little bit of a shake. They do have the Ultra Matte. Not really a fan of that myself, but make sure that you shake that up so that that kaolin clay in there can get mixed around. Tip your head back. Give you a couple of sprays. Fan that down. Let that set that makeup. That is going to help you to, depending on what makeup setting spray you're using, that could waterproof your makeup. If you're using the one from Benefit Cosmetics, in this case, it's going to help control oil. So it just depends on what you've got going. So we have now completed our makeup look for this morning. It has been such a pleasure hanging out with you. I look forward to seeing your makeup look, so make sure that you take pictures, post some selfies, send that in the comments so I can see how your look came out for today, whatever colors it was that you choose. Okay, so we are going to review our verse. Let's actually just go back to what was Psalm 8:3? That was episode 7. So we're going to go to Psalm 8:3, episode 7. That was the moon and the stars you set in place, Psalm 8:3. Then we'll go to episode 8, which was Psalm 34:8. Taste and see that the Lord is good. That was that adorable cupcake picture. Then we're going to move to, I don't think it was Proverbs yet. It was Galatians 6:9 was episode 9 was Galatians 6:9. Then let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. Then we had episode 10. There we go. Now that's Proverbs. I had them a little out of order. Sorry. Proverbs 31:25. She is clothed with strength and dignity and laughs without fear of the future. Then we had last week. Let me scroll back up to the top here. Last week was great is the Lord and most worthy of praise, and that was Psalm 96:4. And then this week we are working on I have written your word in the palms of my hand, Isaiah 49:19. So it has been a joy to spend some time with you today. Again, all of our verses are coming from the Word and Color coloring book. You can see that link and QR code below. And let me send you out here with a little bit of a blessing. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. And that is coming from Numbers. Well, that's on your screen. Numbers, I never remember the address. So go read the book of Numbers and you'll see where it comes from. So, context is king. Okay, so it has been a pleasure to spend some time with you. So, you can find a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus on your favorite podcast platform. My favorite is I love the Facebook page and the YouTube channel. Instagram's great, but most conversations happen over at YouTube and Facebook. So, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Enjoy the coloring page for this week. On Wednesday, I'll do my best to get mine posted so that you can see what that looks like and show me yours. I look forward to seeing what you have. So let me send us out in prayer. Father, thank you so much for my friends that have hung out with me here online, those that will view this later, no matter how it is they have come here, Father. I just pray that they would treasure these words, that they would learn these verses, and that they would hide these words in your heart, Father, that we may just enjoy Jesus together. What a joy and a blessing. I pray that you would bless them on their week this week. In Jesus' name, amen. Y'all have a fabulous day. I look forward to spending time with you for the rest of the week.